We need to talk about this Tiffany Kim Miu Miu situation and kind of what that means for the state of Miu Miu as a whole. So, a quick summary if you're unaware what has happened. Tiffany Kim bought this viral Miu Miu fleece that we've seen all over the internet. A part of the drawstring on the sleeves broke off, and upon her trying to fix it, they told her that because she bought it in Hawaii, it counts as an international sale and she can't really get it fixed in the US. And I mean, this isn't the first time we've seen Miu Miu have these quality control issues. We saw the same thing with Wisdom K with his jacket, where the buttons just kept popping off. Even after they replaced it, the same result happened. Prada has been known to have quite bad quality. Dana Thomas talked about this in her book, How Luxury Lost Its Luster. She talked about this in the early 2000s. Miu Miu being a sort of sister brand to Prada, by extension, the quality of Miu Miu is even worse than Prada. And I think the most comical thing about all of this, to be honest, is that Miu Miu doesn't address it. And I don't expect them to address it verbally and start making statements and stuff, because that would just kill the allure of their brand. And I know they know that they shouldn't do that. However, addressing it on a production scale, you cannot afford as a luxury brand to be synonymous with bad quality, which I think Miu Miu is kind of entering into. You cannot afford that when you're a brand that charges stupid money. Like, that fleece was 2K for a fleece that is not that interesting. The fabrics aren't that crazy. The fabrics are very basic. And I honestly think all of us as consumers are to blame collectively, because if brands know that you will buy garbage for loads of money, then they'll continue to sell you garbage. I think us as consumers need to put our foot down and say we're not buying Miu Miu until the quality goes back to what it should be for the price point they're charging. And I think a lot of the discourse in the luxury space, I find a bit backwards. A lot of times when I complain about the quality of luxury goods, people's response and rebuttal is always, you're just broke, you can't afford it anyway. People that can afford it don't worry about the quality. When I get a suit made at a Savile Row tailor like Henry Paul, I expect the highest levels of craftsmanship, because we associate the high cost of a Savile Row suit with a certain level of craftsmanship. It's the same thing with a car like a Rolls Royce. I expect the highest levels of quality when I buy a Rolls Royce because of how expensive it is. To pretend that there's no correlation between how much you spend and an expectation of a certain level of craftsmanship, I think is a bit silly. It's only in the ready-to-wear fashion space that I see people just defending brands for having bad quality. People are literally defending their right to spend 10K on a coat where the quality is terrible. I just don't understand it, but let me know what you guys think in the comments.